Over the last several months, we have discerned our missionary mentality. We have embraced vibrant leadership and relational intentionality. However, today we are going to the next step, the next element, and embrace prayerful dependence. Because prayerful dependence is the most important element or key to real change and transformation in our lives, in our church, and in our communities. The Bible says in Psalms chapter 119, if you'll turn there with me, please, Psalms 119, beginning with verse number 1, it says this: "Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies, and that seek him with the whole heart." That was Psalms 119, and those were two wonderful verses. But now we're going to go to Psalms 116 and look at the two next wonderful verses that I'd like to share with you this morning. For it says, "I love the Lord because he hath heard my voice and my supplications. Because he hath inclined his ear unto me, therefore will I call upon him as long as I live." Today, the truth is, we are truly going to make the changes in our personal lives that are needed. If we are truly going to make the changes in our church body that are needed, and if we are truly going to make the changes in our communities that are needed, prayerful dependence must be embraced. This morning, let's return to Psalms 116. Because in this psalm, a man who has been saved from death goes to the temple in Jerusalem and fulfills the promises he had made to the Lord when he was sick. In verses 1 through 4, the expression of thanksgiving begins with a description of the man's brush with death. For we pick up in verse 3 and it says, "The sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell gat a hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. Then called I upon the name of the Lord. O Lord, I beseech thee, deliver my soul." In verses 5 through 7, this expression of thanksgiving is followed by a statement of God's goodness and compassion. For it says in verse 5, "Gracious is the Lord, and righteous, yea, our God is merciful. The Lord preserveth the simple. I was brought low, and he helped me." Verse 7 says, "Return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Lord hath dealt bountifully with me." In verses 8 through 11, we are shown the way this man was kept by the Lord from dying. For it says in verse 8, "For thou hast delivered my soul from death, mine eyes from tears, and my feet from falling. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. I believe, therefore have I spoken. I was greatly afflicted. I said in my haste, all men are liars." Then in verses 12 through 14, the man offers the sacrifices he had promised. For it says in verse 12, "What shall I render unto the Lord for all his benefits toward me? I will take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord. I will pay my vows unto the Lord now in the presence of all his people. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints." And then we see in verses 15 through 19, we have his expression of dedication to the Lord for what he had done for him. For we begin in verse 15 again, and it says, "Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. O Lord, truly I am thy servant. I am thy servant and the son of thine handmaid. Thou hast loosed my bonds." He says in verse 17, "I will offer to thee the sacrifice of thanksgiving and will call upon the name of the Lord. I will pay my vows unto the Lord now in the presence of all his people, in the courts of the Lord's house. In the midst of thee, O Jerusalem, praise ye the Lord." Finally, in verse 19, this man closes with a call for the people to praise God. A call for the people to praise Jehovah. A call for the people to praise Yahweh. So Psalms 116 could be referred to in many ways today. It can be referred to as a man saved from death praises God, or a psalm of thanksgiving, or a prayer of gratitude, or a man whom God saved from death. This morning, please notice some things about Psalms 116 man, if you will. First of all, I want you to notice that he was a sorrowful man. Not only that, he was a soulish man. He was a simple man. The Bible says that he was a saintly man. He was a sacrificial man. And the Bible says that he was a servant man. But more than that, the Bible also here in Psalms 116 tells us that Psalms 116 man was a loving man. And he was not only just a loving man, but he was also a consistent man. What he said he was going to do, he consistently did it. However, more than all of the above, I want you to know that this Psalms 116 man was a praying man. He prayed prayers of intercession. He prayed prayers of supplication. He prayed prayers of repentance. He prayed prayers of thanksgiving. This Psalms 116 man was a prayerful man. Here's a fact today. You and I will have problems. If you're here today and you have no problems, you need to check your pulse because you're probably not living. You have problems. I have problems. The older we get, there's a greater propensity for problems to occur in our lives. There's the problem of disease. There's the problem of debt. There's the problem of disappointments. Has anyone here ever been disappointed? There's the problem of divorce. There's the problem of disagreements. There is the problem even of death. And all of these D's are just lurking around the corner. Disease and debt and disappointments and divorce and disagreements and even death, they're all lurking around the corner. And the older we become, the greater propensity we have for these problems, for these D's of life to take over ourselves. As a result, we must embrace prayerful dependence. When disease takes over our life, we must embrace prayerful dependence. When debt overcomes us, we need to embrace prayerful dependence. When disappointments come our way and disagreements take place with one another, we need to embrace prayerful dependence. When divorce happens, I want you to know that we need to embrace prayerful dependence because all of these D's are just lurking around the corner. And as we embrace prayerful dependence, we begin to understand that God, Jehovah, Yahweh, is the only one who can ultimately help us. We try to make it on our own, and we finally realize that we can't make it on our own. We try to make it all work out and make life work out, but we realize very quickly that we are failures when we do. It is only God, it is only Yahweh, it is only Jehovah, it is only the God of the Bible that can ultimately help us when the D's of life overtake us. You see, it's our dependence on Him that helps us through all the other devastating D's of life. One Sunday morning, a lady who was sick and wanted prayer came to the altar. Her 5-year-old daughter was with her. They were waiting for the pastor to pray for them. But before the pastor could get there, the little girl put her hand on her mother's arm and said, "Lord, heal my mommy." You see, today, that's the kind of prayers that we need. Just simple little prayers that say, "Lord, heal my mommy. Lord, help my daddy. Lord, help me." You see, we want prayer to be something that's a powerful expression of faith and belief that God can touch those around us. When that happens, then prayer becomes a pleasure and something the body wants to do. You know, so many times we desire to hear eloquent prayers, do we not? So many times we desire to have the preacher pray for us, do we not? But Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, beginning with verse number 5, these things. He said, when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth thee in secret shall reward thee openly. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. After this manner therefore pray ye. And if you would like to, pray it with me today. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. And then Jesus says, for if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive yours. This morning, I do not want to get into all the theological implications of the Lord's Prayer. But I do want to give you some thoughts on simple prayers. Just some thoughts on simple prayers. Not eloquent prayers, not long, flowery prayers, but just some thoughts about simple prayers. First of all, I want you to know that prayer should be something that's a powerful expression of faith and belief that God can touch us and those around us. Oh, listen to that again. Prayer should be something that's a powerful expression of faith and belief that God can touch us and those around us. God doesn't care about long, flowery, eloquent prayers. He just wants those simple little faith-like prayers that little great girl prayed over her mother. Lord, heal my mommy. That's the kind of prayers that move God. Those are the kind of prayers that move the very throne room of God. Number two, I want you to know that God is attracted to weakness. So many times we want to be strong. So many times we want to be brave. So many times we want everyone to think that we're okay and we'll be all right. But I want you to know that things aren't always all right. And God is attracted to weakness. He knows that we're weak already. And when we tell him that we are weak and we show him that we are weak, he is attracted to that. He can't resist those who humbly and honestly admit how desperately they need him. It may be a sickness. It may be pride in our lives. It may be some sin, some weight that so easily besets us. And God just wants us to cry out and say, I'm weak and I need you so desperately today. A third thought about simple prayers is this. Prayer is the engine, and it provides spiritual vitality and power, not only for the church, but also for the individual. Prayer is the engine. As I said in the beginning in my introductory remarks, one day when we get to heaven, we'll be so surprised how much was accomplished because of prayer and how much could have been accomplished if only we had prayed. May I say, fourthly, God's desire for us is that we remain in close communication with Him. That's His desire. That's why the Bible says to pray without ceasing. That's why Paul says we need to have a God consciousness about ourselves. That when we're in the car, when we are here at church, when we're at work, when we're at home, when we are in our garden, wherever we may be, that we always have a God consciousness, that God is there and God is near and God is around and God wants to hear from us. And a God consciousness keeps us continually praying without ceasing. When we do, we're telling God we need Him. We're telling God we're so weak. We're telling God that He is so great. We're telling God that we need Him so badly and so desperately today. We have so many disappointments in our lives. Every one of you here today, you have been disappointed if you're not disappointed already sitting right there where you're sitting. There's so many disappointments. And that's when we need to cry out to God, to Jehovah, to the God of the Bible. Because God desires for us to remain in close communication with Him. Adam and Eve found out that sin breaks that communication with God. Our sin breaks that communication with God. And sometimes we get to a place where we think, how in the world can I even be saved and be acting like this? But I want you to know there's a difference between sonship and fellowship. God, once we become sons and daughters of God through faith in Jesus Christ, He wants that fellowship with Him to remain close. And He wants to communicate with us on a moment-by-moment basis. A fifth thought about simple prayers is this. Moments of spontaneous prayer in worship services, in small groups or classes should be normal. Prayers of adoration, prayers of confession, prayers of intercession, prayers of repentance. This also includes our personal lives praying without ceasing. Moments of spontaneous prayer. I mean, at any given time, we need to break out in prayer. At any given time, we need to stop and say, I think you need to have prayer. I need to have prayer over you. I need someone to pray over me. We need to come to church. We need to come to our classes. The small group leaders, when you meet on Monday or Wednesday or Friday or whenever you meet, we need to discern the needs of those that are around us. And when people come into church and we see that look on their face and we see that they are burdened about something, instead of ignoring that and leaving that and going on to find our seat before someone else finds our seat, we need to stop and we need to pray with them. We need to pray with them and let them know that the God of the Bible can meet their needs. When He meets our needs, we can share with others how He can meet theirs also. Moments of spontaneous prayer. When we come in here on Sunday morning, each of us need to find somebody just to pray with. You know that they're going through a problem. You know that they're going through a sickness. You know they're going through a divorce. You know that they're going through a difficulty. And may I say this, when you have problems, don't get mad when somebody comes up to you and says, I want to pray for you. Don't get mad. Because if you leave and no one comes up and says anything to you, then you get mad because no one said anything to you. You're damned if you do and we're damned if we don't. So we might as well just be damned for doing the right thing. Amen? And when someone comes up to you and says, I want to pray for you, you know what? You just need to humbly say, I'd love to have your prayers. Because every one of us came in here today with some D in our life that's given us difficulties. Moments of spontaneous prayer in worship services and small groups and classes should be the normal. Not only that, let me say praying together before serving and teaching and preaching and singing and playing and welcoming is the natural order of things in the church. I hope before the band played today, they had prayer. I hope before the singer sang, they had prayer. I hope before the preacher preached, he had prayer. I hope before the teachers taught today, you had prayer. I hope before you walked in here today, you had prayer with your family. Especially because on Sunday morning, it's the best time the devil uses for you all to have a big knockdown drag out in the car on the way to church. It happens every Sunday almost. And all the fighters said, thank you for admitting it. Isn't that the best time to have a good fight? I mean, the devil just gets into something. He gets into the car with you, and you have this big knockdown, drag-out fight on the way to church. And then you get out of your car, and you put on that Christian smile, and you say, oh, hi, oh, everything's great. Bunch of liars. You just had a big fight with your wife. Just screamed and yelled at the kids. We need to pray. We need prayerful dependence upon God. You see, praying is a matter of trusting the Savior rather than your stuff. It's so easy to trust our stuff, isn't it? But prayer is a matter of trusting the Savior rather than our stuff. Let me say this lastly. Seeing people praying together and for each other should be a normal sight at our church. It should be a normal sight at our church. Before traveling, we've always had the habit as a family of praying. And before we ever leave the driveway, we put the car in gear. Now, there's been a couple times that I got out on the street and forgot and said, okay, one of you girls, you got to pray, and I'm going to keep my eyes open. And they're glad that I kept my eyes open. But most of the time, we before we got out of the driveway, we would pray. And you know where I learned that from? I learned that from my parents. And every time we went on vacation and we drove somewhere, my parents would pray that God would give us safe traveling mercies. And that's passed on into my family. And I hope one day when they have families, and Scott and Shannon, now that they've got a family, I hope they pray before they go to the Great Wolf Lodge in Ohio or wherever they go. We need to pray as families. We need to pray before dinner. We need to pray before bed. I find myself now when Lincoln stays all night, Liam isn't old enough to do so yet, but when Lincoln stays all night, he lays down at the bottom of our bed and on the floor, and we make a nice pallet there for him, and I get down there next to him, and I find myself praying the exact same prayers with him that I prayed with Shannon and Lindsay and Hannah and Olivia. I'm glad that I remembered all your names. And I find myself praying the exact same prayers that I prayed with them. Last week we had graduation. I was gone. I know that none of you remembered that, or noticed that, but I was gone last Sunday, and I appreciate Matt and the staff and everyone that just carried on. I heard we had great services, and when Olivia says it was good, you know it was good. She's my barometer. We went to graduation for Hannah last week and had a wonderful graduation, wonderful time. And she has 4 of the roommates that they lived in a townhouse this last year off campus. And she has one roommate. Her family was there. We went to dinner with them. Lovely family. And before we all left, we all circled around and grabbed hands and prayed. And everybody got in their cars and went their different ways. We just need to have a God consciousness all the time. Lincoln was at our house the other day, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was a Wednesday, and Olivia, she was getting ready to get in the car and come down to youth group and all by herself, and we were having some dinner there real quickly, and we said, Lincoln, do you want to pray? And he said, yes. So he began to pray for our food, and he said, Lord, because it was raining and storming, he said, Lord, keep Olivia safe. Amen. You see, those are the kind of prayers that God is moved by. Not praying like the hypocrites, not long, flowery prayers, just simple prayers are the things that move God. Some months ago, I received a letter from one of our church members. And I've asked permission to read it. And as I close today, I'd like to read her letter. Dear pastors and church family, I love you dearly and thank God daily for all he has done and continues to do. Thank you so much for the love gift. It is so needed. God is good. Thank you for letting him use you in more ways than I can count. We are his children, all of us working for him. At this time, the work I do seems very small. I remember Pastor Greg as you prayed over me months ago. So many are praying. God just isn't in a hurry to heal as I want, and may never. I know he can do anything. That's in the power of his will. Wish I could be there today. The pain is hardest to deal with. I go see a pain specialist Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Maybe injections so often. I don't know. Wish I didn't have to, but pain is not tolerated by my body. It's been so long since having a good day. And willing to do anything for relief. Love you all. Thank you for prayer. God hears them all and answers in ways I know not. Only he knows what he's doing inside my body. My hope and trust is him alone. He will never leave me nor forsake me. He will lift me up to where he wants me to be. I love him with all that I am able to. He hears when I call. God bless the ministry of reaching people for Christ. That's the most important of all. People accepting Jesus' blood sacrifice for their sins. Please pray for our 5 children and 15 grandchildren. I'm trying to be a witness to them so they won't get angry at God in their hearts. I want them drawn so close to him that his love will be the most important thing they hold on to. Love you all. June Denning. You see, that's the kind of attitude that we need. That's the kind of prayer life that we need. That's the kind of desires that we need. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the honor and the glory forever. Amen. All God wants from us is to know that we are dependent totally and completely on him. Let's bow for prayer.